Hey, what's up, guys? It's JaviGlocks back here with another video. And today I got you Chip Mccormick versus Wilson Combat. Oh man, I'm gonna talk about my experience, guys, because I read reviews on both these magazines before I purchased any of them. And there was goods and bads, mostly goods, like almost 90% of everything was good. Right, so there was here and there bad, right? On either or. But I'm gonna talk about my experience, guys. So I own two 1911s. I own a Kimber Pro Carry 2, and I own the Fusions firearm, BantamR, which is gonna be an officer size, and the Kimber's a commander size or a 4-inch slide. So, guys, I'm gonna talk about first my experience with the BantamR with these mags. All right, then I'm gonna talk about my Kimber. So on my BantamR, guys, this mag I have not shot yet. I just got it like a week ago. So on my BantamR, I bought these two mags and I shot these two mags, and I did not have one hiccup at all, guys. Like my gun didn't jam at all. I had a light recoil spring and I was running 230s. For those of you that don't know what 230 is, it's 230 grains on it, guys. And it wouldn't have failures to feed or none of that stuff, or to cycle or nothing like that, guys. After like about 80 rounds, guys, the slide started cycling slow. Like it would like slow reset, so I knew it was a spring, right? The recoil spring. But other than that, I had no issues. All right, I'm gonna just put that before I even talk about them with any of these mags. So these two, guys, I'm not gonna talk about them because I haven't shot them, but I'm gonna talk about these two. And the main difference, guys, on these is gonna be this, the follower. Sorry if it's a little dirty, guys. And no, guys, I'm not sick, but my house was cold and I fell asleep right now and without its colcha on. So I'm normal. But yeah, this is the main difference, guys, on these magazines is gonna be the followers. And yes, it's 45 ACP, obviously. Supposedly, guys, Wilson Combat, guys, is reliable. Now I'm talking about my Kimber. It's reliable for feeding since it has a plastic follower. Unlike this one, the follower can get stuck and the round would nosedive and it would have failure to cycle. Right, but I have never had that issue. This one is supposed to fix that issue because the round should never nosedive. It should be facing straight up. All right, you can tell. My feet. I'm just putting my finger up here, and that's gonna go straight into the barrel. And with this one, it's gonna be the same, but once it's loaded, it goes down like that. All right, so it's kind of like facing straight. So, literally, guys, this Wilson Combat should be more reliable. Literally, right? I'm talking about Kimber now. Like I said, I had no failures with none of these mags with my Fusion firearm, but with my Kimber, I had no failures to feed, guys, with any of these mags. But what would have happened with this magazine, Wilson Combat, after the 6th round, I don't know what would have happened, but the round would cycle, all that stuff. The round would cycle and properly everything, but the trigger wouldn't reset, guys. And it wouldn't reset at all. And I thought maybe it's a gun. I'm gonna have to send it to Kimber to get it fixed, whatever. But with the original Kimber magazine, the original OEM Kimber 7-round magazine, it didn't have any failures, guys, at all. Like it had not one failure. So I was like, what? How come it's working properly with the Kimber magazine, but with the Wilson Combat that's supposed to be better, it had a fail? I was like, you know what? It has to be the gun, right? So I threw this one on. Chip Mccormick, thinking it was gonna fail, but with this mag, guys, I had no failures either. So I was like, you know what? Let me keep running them. So I ran through the OEM one, the Kimber. Wilson. I went through Kimber, Wilson, then Chip Mccormick, right? I had that pattern. Kimber, Wilson, Chip Mccormick. So when I went to run it again, guys, with the Kimber mag, oh my gosh, he's moving. With the Kimber magazine, guys. Sorry, I'm about to adjust a little bit right here. There you go. When I went to run it again with the Kimber magazine, it had no failures at all. So I had no failures to feed with any magazine. I had no nosedives or any of these magazines. Start out with that. But what would happen when I swapped to Wilson Combat, after the 6th round, guys, my trigger would no longer reset and it wouldn't shoot anymore. I could let go of the trigger and shoot it again and it would not shoot. So I would remove the magazine, check if it chambered around, and it did. I was like, whoa, that's kind of weird, right? So I removed the round, put it back in the magazine, and fire the rest, and they would work. But after the 6th round, or in the 6th round, it would fail. Now, that's kind of weird. Let me try the Chip Mccormick one more time. So I ran it, guys, with Chip Mccormick, and it had no fails at all. Just like my Kimber original, Chip Mccormick had no fails, which is why this magazine is here right now. These two are brand new magazines, guys. This is a Wilson Combat, by the way. This is Chip Mccormick, by the way. So I can trust this for sure on my Kimber, but I cannot trust this for sure on my Kimber, which makes me think I can't trust this either. All right. And Kimber, guys, is not a cheap brand. It's an expensive brand, so it should run with these magazines, right? Wilson Combat makes parts that fit directly with Kimber, so it should run with these magazines. So I'm like, you know what? Let me swap the order. So now I'm gonna run Kimber and then Chip Mccormick and then Wilson Combat. What if it's the second magazine that I throw in it that is fading, right? So instead of running Kimber, Wilson, Chip, I ran Kimber, Chip, and Wilson. And I ran the Kimber one flawlessly, like always. No fails for nothing. It just ran perfectly. And then I swapped to the Chip Mccormick. I was like, you know what? This is going to fail. Maybe it has to be a gun. And it ran perfectly, guys. No malfunctions, guys. None of that stuff. Like, no, nothing. So I thought, oh, you know what? The problem probably got fixed, right? That was probably the issue, whatever. Like, or maybe it's going to work now, right? After I put this magazine as in 3rd place. So I ran this flawlessly, guys, and nothing. Then I put this one on, and it gave me the same problem, but it happened twice in one magazine. So personally, guys, this mag costs like 40-some bucks plus taxes. It's $40-some, guys, for per mag, and then you're gonna pay $15 taxes and shipping, depending on where you live, right? But me, so I pay like 55 bucks per magazine. So imagine that, guys, right? That's a lot. So I thought maybe that I couldn't trust this anymore, guys. And in reality, guys, when I started carrying my Kimber, like I bought it recently, and I only had 20 hollow points, I would run the OEM Kimber magazine and this magazine. I would just throw it and have it in the safe. Thank God I went to the gun range and tried them out, and this one was failing me, guys. And this is my backup mag. So now guys, I don't use this. The reason why I don't throw it away because it works on my Fusion firearm. So why would I throw it away when I can just use it on that one? So now my conflict is, guys, will this one work? This is the newest magazine, Wilson Combat, 47D, 8-rounder. This is an 8-round mag. So now I'm thinking, will this magazine work? The problem was, guys, that I ordered this magazine before I took my gun to the range to go shoot with this Wilson Combat. But since it had ran flawlessly with the BantamR, I figured it was going to run flawlessly, even better maybe with the Kimber, right? It's a better brand, whatever. But you see, I had an issue. So I went to the gun range on Saturday. On Monday, I got this magazine. Now I don't carry, guys, because I can't risk my life for a magazine, right? Like, if it's going to fail me, I got to know, right? I can't just run it. Like, I can't shoot the magazine or carry it with me every day if it might fail me when I need it at most, right? So I don't carry it. Let me know what y'all think about that, guys. The video's not over yet, but let me know what y'all think about that, right? So after that, guys, I ordered another Chip Mccormick, guys, right? So now I run these two magazines fully loaded with Hornadies, which I'm about to show you. And I'm not about to cut this out. I'm just hopefully you can hear me because I have my AirPods on. And this box, guys, right here, I just bought today. So this thing is brand new, never been fed into any magazine. So these are all brand new, guys, right? So they put this aside, and they are critical defense, great rounds, right? Obviously, great rounds. 185 grain, $45. So these rounds right here, guys, they're also brand new because obviously they haven't been shot, right? But they've been cycled a few times. So I'm gonna show you all the difference. I'm going to cycle one round, guys, into one of these magazines. And I'm going to show you all the difference between the cycling issues. You know what? I'm not even going to do that. Because that's not even the issue. Like, none of them had cycling issues. Not even this one. The spring on this one feels solid, guys. It feels like, yeah, it feels solid. Let me see this one right here. It feels even more solid, guys. It feels hard. All right, that's probably why it didn't have any cycling issues. Now, let's feel this one. This is the oldest magazine that I have, guys, out of these four. Well, that's already, you see that, that can give you an issue, but it hasn't, right? So I can't speak on that. Let me see. That's, sounds kind of grimy. It probably has dirt. I gotta clean it. I haven't ever cleaned it, right? But yeah, so it's still very solid, hard. And like I said, this one's been really old. And let me see this one. Yeah, this one's solid, guys. So I don't know, guys. This one has my oldest mag, guys, but this one when I didn't own the Kimber, this was my backup mag, right? I wouldn't run these two. This one was just in my save, so the spring should be stronger in this one actually, but it's not. Maybe it's just a follower that it feels solid. I don't know what it is, but I don't know, guys. So if you're gonna run a Kimber, guys, my conclusion is if you're gonna run a Kimber, buy Chip McCormick, or buy 1-in-1, or borrow one. If one of your friends has one, borrow one and go try them out. Maybe they both work on your Kimber. And if they both work, get Wilson Combat. Wilson Combat is just great, guys. I wish these mags work on my gun. I wish it worked this one, so I can trust this one, and I would have 19 rounds instead of 18, right? And then plus one of these spare. And out of these guys, I would run this one because this one has double rails over here on top. You can see right here is thick, because if you drop it, it won't break compared to this. You can see right. So yeah, this is thicker because if you drop it, like I said, it won't break. You can just drop it and it wouldn't break. So that's pretty cool. So, guys, what do you think about what I just told you guys? I'm not sure what to think about it. I'm not gonna run these until I try them out. Obviously, I'm running these because they work, and the OEM Kimber one, they work. So why not, right? But what do you think it might be, guys? If you're running a Kimber, guys, make sure you try out these mags before. If you're gonna buy Wilson Combat or whatever, make sure you try them out, or make sure. If they don't work on your weapon, return them. I'm not going to return them because they work on my other 1911, right? So why would I return it when I can use these for sure? Hopefully this one works. It's the newest technology that they have, guys. This is a 47D, like I just said, 8-rounder. So hopefully this works, right? It should work. Hopefully it does. But this does for sure. If you're going to have a Taurus, because I had a Taurus 1911, and these ran flawlessly. This one, both of these did. So this one has not ran me. This magazine, guys, these ones have not failed me with any gun at all. Not even with the Taurus, not even with the Fusion, not even with the Kimber. This one failed me with the Kimber. But with the Taurus, it wouldn't fail me either. So, I don't know, guys. Let me know what y'all think about that. So, like I said, if you're going to buy a Kimber, guys, go ahead and just get Chip Mccormick, because they run. For sure, they're going to run. This one is not for sure if they're going to run these. Alright, and if you decide to buy Wilson Combat, make sure you try them out. Alright, guys. That's going to be it. This is JaviGlocks. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below.